and I will speak on the subject I'm speaking on this morning. Are we pleased with 1 Peter 3? I'll only speak in a way that I'm speaking this morning. Look at 1 Peter chapter 3. And as you're turning to 1 Peter 3, let's, especially you ladies and gentlemen that have been married for a while, or some short period of time, or a while. Remember when you first planned to get married, your ideas, how wonderful it was going to be. And when you got this perfect man, and he got this perfect woman, life was forever going to be absolutely perfect. And then a few weeks into this perfect relationship, an imperfection showed up. It was just a small, insignificant thing. It doesn't negate the idea that he or she may be perfect. It's just one of those little idiosyncrasies we just get on with. Well, we put that one off. A little while later, another little thing came up. I didn't know that he did such before we got married. Or I didn't know he thought like that before we were married. I wonder if it's that significant. Well, we went on in our perfect mode of thinking and continued on, and pretty soon things began to compound. And now we redefine perfect. After all these problems have come up, let's not worry about the problems, let's just redefine perfect. Perfect is not really perfect. Perfect has imperfections in it, but yet it's perfect. And here's what we'll do. Let's compare it to something that's more imperfect than what we have. After all, it's better than this. So our standards change. And as our standards change, our culture, of course, adapts, and we adapt our culture and so forth and so on, and things happen. And now we got to the point where we've redefined a lot of things in life, because the standard that we once adhered to is no longer, we don't have the ability to achieve it, we don't have the ability to reach it, and therefore let's alter things, let's change it. And let's set a goal that we can reach. After all, it's going to be perfect, and we'll redefine perfection. Marriage is that way. I know when Ed married me, she thought she got Charlie. She did. She never thought this. We were more realistic than that. And I thought this, and you thought that, so we'd never have a financial problem, we'd never have a problem with children, we'd never this, we'd never that. And after all, when I get my house, I'm going this, I'm going that, you don't know that. Well, it didn't happen. Something went wrong. Hollywood lied to us. The novels lied to us. They were deceptive. Even some people I know lied to us about the reality of life itself. However, it doesn't alter the fact that God Himself has ordained marriage. Amen. Look with me, please, in 1 Peter chapter 3. I want to preach on the subject. It could be the greatest war you'll ever fight, so fight to win. Or the greatest battle you'll ever have in life. If that's how you do it. I'm going to talk to you about marriage itself. Matter of fact, they do a sequel on this coming up next week. If I don't get fixed with this one. Let's read what Peter had to say. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. If any obey not the word, they also may be without the word, be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be outward adorning with plaiting the hair, to wearing gold, or putting on apparel. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of the meek, quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great prize. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are, as long as you do well, and you're not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, you husbands dwell them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Well, another passage, if you want to take a note, that would be a sister to this in the message, would be Ephesians 5:21 through 25. Verse 21 of Ephesians chapter 5 starts out with the word submitting. yourselves one to another, then he goes into the wives submitting to their husbands, and the husband's the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, etc. Then another sister passage would be Hebrews 13:4, which says marriage is honorable in all. Now don't get bored because we're talking about marriage, because it's going to be a little different take, a little look, not on the ordained part of it, but the application. That marriage is honorable in all. You know, the biblical idea of marriage is uniquely beautiful. It is a relationship in which a woman, as the helpmeet, is a joyful support for the man, and he, as the head, is joyfully loving the woman. They are the ideal husband and wife. I'll let you make your personal application right then and right there. Now here's another concept of marriage. You'll recognize the name. Field Marshal Montgomery told his young troops one time, he said to them, "Gentlemen, don't even think about marriage until you've mastered the art of warfare." Now to some people that's good advice. They want to warfare, they battle, etc. Other people, such as myself, I like the biblical idea of marriage more than I do the General's, Field Marshal Montgomery's idea of preparing for warfare. I like the biblical concept of it. I like the biblical standard. That marriage is one of the most promising relationships among humanity. It is significant. It is one relationship that lasts throughout life. It is a union, now listen to this, it is a union that gets better and better and richer and richer. However, the Scriptures have much to say about a husband-wife relationship, precisely in Ephesians 5, particularly 1 Peter 3. But warnings like in the book of Colossians where he says, "Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them," as if we have a tendency to create or to generate a bitterness or a resentment or a maliciousness toward the very one that God has ordained that we should spend our lives with. Now, can you understand why society frowns upon the idea of marriage? Because it really, to society, is a battlefront. It's a warfare taking place between a man and a woman that starts out running smoothly and ends up with 52% of the population, even in evangelical churches, down at the courthouse filing for divorce. Can you understand why the world sees you this way and sees things this way? Well, yeah, I understand it. Because the world has taken over. Montgomery's idea that preparing for warfare, unfortunately, is a lot of premarital counseling in the secular world. Get ready for the battle. Get ready for the war. Few are sitting down and talking about what a wonderful relationship you should have with this person that's going to make you a completer in life, this person that's going to help you in life, this person you're going to live the rest of your life with. Nobody's just going to talk to you about like that. So what we do is this. Let's make it a political issue. Right? Well, let's let those who are opposed to God's ordained marriage make it political. Now, let them do that. This is not a political message. This is a biblical message. If it's not politically correct, tough. Amen. Okay? And I mean that as harshly as I can say tough, because you're the kind of people that make marriage tough when it ought to be ideal. It ought to be.